Things have been a little crazy since I purchased my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. We've already done quite a few modifications to it that I'm going to share with you today, and then we're going to talk about the big picture of all the stuff that I want to do to this build. We've got a lot to talk about, and also we may peek in on my wife because she's back there making breakfast and I want to see what she's conjuring up. Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon, I'm Brad, and this Gladiator project, man, I have been having so much fun coming up with ideas of how I want this build to come along. And so what I want to do today in this video is share with you the things that I've already done, which I think are pretty cool, and the ideas I have going forward of some bolt-on stuff and some cool do-it-yourself idea projects that I think will be really fun to do in later videos. I just am so excited about the potential of an overland extreme build. I think this is a great platform. There's so many things that we can do, and I'm already excited about the stuff that we have done, which I will show you. In fact, let's do that. Let's talk about the new shoes. But first, my wife's over there bugging me. Those blueberry pancakes that she's making up for breakfast. Oh, they smell so good. I gotta go eat some of those.
My wife put together a simple pancake batter from scratch. She added a little bit of lemon zest, and then using fresh blueberries, she added them directly to the pancakes on the skillet, which keeps them from getting squished in the batter. After they were good and golden brown, they added some syrup, and of course, you gotta have some whipped cream with your pancakes. Oh yeah, these were good.
It's good. Seriously, those pancakes were some of the best I've ever had. They were ridiculously good. I can't believe that she just made those on the back of the tailgate. They're totally tasty. You've got to try those next time you're out camping. All right, let's talk about the new shoes that we put on Amelia here. And so we started out with some 17-inch new rims, and these are Icon alloys. These are their compression wheels in a titanium, and I think the titanium with the red, you know, the red and silver TrailRecon thing, it goes great together. I think that's going to be a cool accent color to kind of work on. But I love the look of the rims, and these are not a beadlock, and I didn't want the weight of a beadlock, but they do have a little ring on there. And then we wrapped them in some Milestar Patagonia MTs, and these are a 35, and these are not long-term plan. I do plan on going to 37s, but I wanted to start out on 35s on the stock suspension just to see how everything works. And I will talk more in depth about these tires, how well they perform, their wear, whether or not we rubbed or not, because we did go out and hit the trail the other day, and I think you'll find the results very interesting. But so far, I'm loving the look of the tires. I'm loving how they're performing on and off-road, but a lot more in-depth conversation of that coming here in the future. We'll talk about wheel offset and all kinds of other cool stuff. All right, let's see what else we got going on. The next thing that I've put on the Gladiator just a couple days ago is this Lightner Rack system. This thing is such a cool design. Now, I didn't do a full install video of this thing, so I apologize, but here's the good news. It was super easy to install. I mean, this is all slotted stuff. You just bolt it together, and some of the best directions I've ever received from a manufacturer. Plus, they also have a video that shows you step by step on how to do this. A very, very easy install. It actually attaches to the existing rail system that comes with the Gladiator. I only had to drill 4 total holes and put in some nutserts, but that was not a big deal. It was very simple. Just make sure you got a nutsert tool because those things make life really simple. What I really like about this whole system is it allows you to be modular with it. So I can put water cans on here. I've got a mini pod storage here, and then I've got the big storage on the other side. And I'm still trying to figure out what I want to put where, but it allows you to put a ton of stuff on here, and then you still have full access to the truck bed. And what's really cool is the rails on top slide back and forth. So if I take the rooftop tent off, which we'll talk about here in a second, you can slide those rails forward and you still have not the full height of the bed, but you do have a lot of height. So if you need to carry something tall in the back of the truck, it still allows you to do that. Now, initially when I kind of brainstormed the build of the Gladiator, I was thinking I wanted to do like a camper shell kind of thing with some roof rack rails on the top that I could put a tent on. That way everything would be enclosed because we are getting a lot of dust in the back. And so I don't know, maybe down the road, that's something that I'll transition to. I mean, I don't know if I want a camper shell or one of those pop-up camper tent type things, or I don't know, a P-core system. I mean, there's so much potential, but we're still very early in this process. So there's still some manufacturers that are going to be coming out with stuff, but Lightner came out with this right away. In fact, I saw this at Overland behind Expo West and I will have, this thing is really nice and it's good quality stuff. And so this is gonna be perfect for my needs for the immediate future and for some of the cool trips we have coming up. So definitely go check them out, guys. It's a very cool product. All right, let's talk about what's up top. Now, many of you all have been asking if I was gonna take the hard shell rooftop tent on the Wrangler and put it on the Gladiator. And while I love the hard shell, there were some limitations about space in there. And so because I'm gonna be taking this on some long trips, I wanted to make sure I had a tent that gave me plenty of room up there. So if my wife is with me or my son is with me, we've got a little bit of extra elbow room over those multi-day trips. And so last night was the first time we've slept in there and my wife said it was a great night's rest. I was very comfortable in there. It's a great tent and we will definitely do a more detailed, in-depth review. But just so you know, this is the Rome Adventure Company Vagabond. They have a couple different colors and so far I'll tell you the quality is really nice and there's just some cool little details. I mean, just having 2 shoe bags on there, simple little things like that that have made this a really nice tent. I think this is going to hold up well for a long time to come. Now I did get the optional annex and I also have an awning that's going to go on the back side from Rome, and so I'll show you how that mounts up once the time comes, but we will do a much more in-depth view of that. But I am running a new tent, so there you go. The hard shell tent may go on there if I'm doing a solo trip, but this is going to be best for 2+ people. Now to talk a little bit about the build plan, kind of the vision that I have for Amelia. And really I'm kind of thinking like an overland extreme build where I can take it out on some great expeditions, but tackle some fun trails and then camp in remote areas. And so that's the whole idea behind it. So starting off on the road, on our trips, getting to wherever it is we're going, it's got to be mild-mannered. I mean, I don't want to be like, you know, just constant input when I'm driving down the road. I don't want a bunch of noise. And I hate to say it because it's a Jeep, but gas mileage for this project is going to matter a little bit. I don't want to just throw a ton of steel parts on there and make this thing heavy. I need to really consider how much weight we're carrying because I don't want to use, you know, a massive amount of gas if I'm doing a long trip. So that's something to consider. Also, I want to be able to take this on some good, difficult trails. Now, not crazy trails like we did. Remember when we were in Montrose, Colorado and we did Die Trying? Yeah, I'm not gonna do a trail like that in this vehicle. I mean, we've got the long wheelbase, we've got the departure angle to deal with, but she will be capable if we lift her and throw some 37s on there and we can go have some fun trails. So she needs to be capable off-road. And the last thing, and this is probably the most important, is it's got to meet all my needs when I'm out off-grid somewhere for multiple days. I mean, we're going to do some kind of solar system. I've got to have all kinds of power management. We're going to do lights, refrigerator, some kind of kitchen setup. I've got all these kind of ideas, water tank, plenty of cool stuff that I think we're going to do that's going to make this very nice rig when we are out in the remote areas and we have no support. We're going to have everything we need right here because I ain't staying at hotels, guys. We're going to be camping like this when we're out on these trips because that is what this build is all about. So now while I have done quite a few upgrades in a short period of time, we are not going to be doing everything all at once on Amelia. I just don't have the budget to do that. And plus, I think it would be cool to do it in phases. And that allows me to test some things out before I go to the next upgrade or the next upgrade. And then I can share it with you how things do. For example, the 35-inch tires. I don't plan on running 35-inch tires forever. I think a 37 is ideal, but at least I can run these, see how they perform, and share that with you. Now, 37s are going to be probably the right size tire, I think, for Amelia. But some of you have commented on Instagram that, hey, Brad, you should go 40s and 6.5 inches of lift. And while I think that would be great, it's not practical if I want to drive all the way across the country. So I don't know how high we're going to go in lift. We're definitely going to go 2.5, 3.5 inches. We'll figure that out as we get along. Then we'll have to do some stuff to support those 37-inch tires. So some steering upgrades, tie rod, drag link, axle shafts, maybe even some brake upgrades. The important stuff to make sure that we are able to support the weight of that rotating mass that we're going to do. The other important thing is she's got a long wheelbase, and when we're going over obstacles, which I noted yesterday, we were scrubbing her belly quite a bit, so we need to do some armor under there to give her some good protection. Now there are some manufacturers out there that are already creating armor, but I'm not going to throw steel, you know, front to rear, because that would be a ton of weight. Definitely thinking about aluminum. Now aluminum is not the strongest thing you can use, but all we need to do is give her a little bit of protection without adding a massive amount of weight. Also underneath, I think it would be cool to do some kind of extended fuel tank or larger fuel tank. That way we don't have to carry so many gas cans up high on the rack. I mean, the Lightner Rack is nice, but it would be better to keep that weight down low if we can. So hopefully somebody will come out soon with a solution for an extended gas tank for the Gladiator. Yep, we got a lot to do on this old girl down here. Most people aren't even gonna see some of this stuff. Well, the tires they'll see. Now, I talked in the introduction video that I am not a fan of plastic bumpers, and this thing is going really quick. I've actually ordered the Mopar bumper, and I like the Mopar bumper just because it goes well with the lines of the Jeep. Now, we won't do the end caps on there, but it'll be pretty nice. And I've already done an install on that. I'll leave a link down below if you want to see, because we did it on my wife's Jeep, and the process is going to be the same. We will add a winch. I'll definitely be doing some lights up here. I'm not sure what kind of configuration. We'll be doing plenty of off-road lighting. We're doing probably some rock lights, some lights in the back of the bed just to give us some side lighting, all that kind of stuff. But we definitely got to do something about this nasty plastic bumper. I hate it. We'll definitely be doing some upgrades in here. Now, I've already installed the 67 Designs rail mount with their phone mount, and then I've got my iPad, and I get questions about this all the time, so I should address this now. This is the similar setup that I have in my Wrangler. This is a iPad mini, and this is a RAM mount holder on a 67 Designs carbon arm. And this system is similar to what I have in my wife's Jeep, but the mounts and everything are exactly what I have in my Wrangler. It's worked well for me for many years. It's great stuff. We also need to figure out communications, and I'm not sure how I want to install a hard-mounted radio in here, but you know, we use handhelds and those are great, but for long trips you need to be able to have that long-range communication, be able to hit repeaters. So we'll be doing something in here. I just haven't figured that out yet. Also, I want to do some power management stuff, so there'll probably be at least an S-Pod maybe in here, and I'm also thinking it might be cool to do an S-Pod or something in the rear. So we've got auxiliary switches already built into the Jeep, but it would be cool to have another auxiliary panel in here that I could control, you know, off-road lights with and some other stuff, but then another auxiliary panel in the rear that would allow me to control all the electrical components and stuff that we're gonna have in the rear. There's gotta be some kind of power management system back there, especially if we're gonna be doing solar. We'll have to figure all that out as we go. These are just the things that are spinning around in my head, trying to think about what do I really want to do, what do I need to do. So we'll be doing a few things in the interior, but I don't know how much. And in the back of the Amelia is where a lot of the project is going to continue to evolve over time. I mean, I love how we're set up right now. This Lightner Rack is great, but there are going to be other manufacturers coming out with some cool stuff that's going to allow us to, you know, somehow bolt a refrigerator in there, maybe some kind of built-in kitchen system. I'm thinking about a do-it-yourself water project that might be kind of cool. I think there's all kinds of things that we can do back here. It's really limitless, and I would love to hear any recommendations you guys have. I mean, look, there's a lot of trucks out there that have been overlanding for a while that have got some great little details, and I think it would be very cool to maybe take some of those ideas and figure out how to make them work on Amelia. I think it's really cool. I'm really excited about this project. It's going to be so much fun, and we're going to go do some great trips as this build progresses. So make sure, if you are not a subscriber to this channel, you hit that subscribe button so you can watch the evolution and you can follow us along on our adventures. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.